Welcome into Bleav in Kentucky. My name is Vinny Hardy. Got another special guest jumping in here with us today, following up who we had yesterday. Had Michael Eves yesterday. We have with us a former Bengals DB coming in on NFL Draft Eve, no less. Solomon Wilcots in here, host of Bleav In Bengals. Solly, man, appreciate you.
Vinny, good to be on with you, and thank you for being a Bengals fan.
Hey, honestly, Kentucky is officially Bengals country.
That's right. That's right.
Cincinnati's the closest pro team, and
Mhm.
so things of that nature, man. So, real quick, I know you got the other running to do, but we're just gonna get a few draft thoughts and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, as far as your time in Kentucky, how fond are your memories, or how horrible are they? Was it mostly training camp, or what?
Oh no, all my memories in Kentucky are awesome. I live just across the river from the great state of Kentucky. Look, and a lot of really good things. I've had some great memories because in working in local television in Cincinnati, it was my job to cover the Kentucky Wildcats when Rick Pitino was there. And then they would go to back-to-back championships. They won the first one, lost the second, and then Tubby Smith came, and then they won another one. So for 3 straight years, while I was on the beat covering the Kentucky Wildcats, they won the championship 2 out of 3 years. And those are some great teams, as you well know. They had 10 McDonald All-Americans. And I had so much fun traveling down to Lexington and enjoying those games and watching that team. So I have great memories in the great state of Kentucky.
I'm glad to hear, because I thought you were just gonna give like Georgetown camp stories, and I'm like, oh, that might not be the most fun.
No, I'm much older than that. So my training camp stories go back to Wilmington, Ohio.
Oh wow.
And but I was covering the team when they would go down to Georgetown, Kentucky for their training camps, and it was good. I thought that was really good to kind of spur the Kentucky fan base, people who are living in Kentucky but yet are Cincinnati Bengals fans, and there are a lot of people in the great state of Kentucky who cheer for the Bengals.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, to the matter at hand, that being the draft,
Mhm.
they're sitting at 17. Started off slow, almost made the playoffs. So they're sitting at number 17 in the first round. So, in your opinion, who do the fans want? Who are they clamoring for? What do you think the Bengals should do? And ultimately, what do you think they will do?
I think when you talk to a lot of teams, they want to get best player available, but they also want to address a need. What they're not going to do is overly, pursue a need and then pass on a good player that's also sitting on the board. I think if the Cincinnati Bengals came away with a truly game-changing player on the defensive side of the ball, I think they'd be elated. That means it could be anywhere. That could be as an edge rusher. It could be one of the many really good interior defensive linemen that are in this draft. It could be a linebacker of note, or it could be a safety or corner. That's how open they are. They just want to make sure that they get someone who can impact the defense for Al Golden. The hat's on him to be able to find a player that could be a game-changing player on the defensive side of the ball.
So, was it just a matter of, because last year the offense was through the roof and the defense had struggles? Was it a matter of not retaining some playmakers that they had? Because Lou didn't forget how to coach defense, did he? Was it?
Yeah. No, what happened? Lou, we have high praise for Lou Anaromo. What happens is when you have young players that you draft, and then they have up and down. Maybe they have one good year, then one bad year. Last year sort of was the year that of those young, most recently highly drafted defensive players, and the guys that come to mind are Miles Murphy, Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill, who was injured, but yet nonetheless off the field. DJ Turner started to play well, but then he was injured. And then you had Chris Jenkins, a rookie interior defensive lineman, and McKinley Jackson. So you're talking 6 players in the last 1 or 2 drafts, okay, that just for whatever reason didn't come together. They didn't coalesce together. And when you have that many young players who've been drafted first or second round, those players that I just named you are all first and second round picks. And for whatever reason, they had a bad year. They had an off year. It wasn't typical of what we expect from those guys. And then you start to lose players to injury like Dax Hill. A lot of holes in that defense. And so the Bengals scored their offense. There was 8 games last year where they scored 30 or more points. You get that many points on the board, the defense ought to be able to complement the offense. You ought to walk out of there with a win. Well, in those 8 games, they lost 4 of the 8 games when they scored 30 or more points. Joe Burrow was out of his mind in games throwing for over 300 yards and scoring 3 touchdown passes in those same games. I think there were 7 straight games where they scored over 27 points or more and where he threw for over 300 yards. It was just incredible. But yet they couldn't capitalize on the defensive side. So now we get Al Golden come in, and he's a really good defensive coach. He had been here as a linebacker coach in 2021 when he had Logan Wilson as a rookie linebacker or a second-year linebacker, I should say, in 2021. And they went to a Super Bowl. He goes on to coach Notre Dame, but now he's back. And so we've got to be able to get the guys who are already here. We got to get them to be able to play well, right? Jermaine Pratt's got to play better. And the guys that I've already named, they have to play better. But I think if the Bengals came away with that 17th overall pick and Jahad Campbell, linebacker out of Alabama, was there, I think the entire room would just erupt. The entire building, the city would erupt. He seems to be the one guy that I think if you penciled him into the middle of this defense, as well as he rushes the quarterback, as well as he defends the run, as well as he covers and defends in the passing game, he's a 3-down player on the defensive side of the ball. I think he would be the one guy that could galvanize the entire defense and play defense the way that would inspire others. You and I both know you get one guy in the middle of a great defense, it makes the other 10 guys better.
No doubt, no doubt. One more quick thing. Back in the day, technique-wise, as far as you've been a DB, you would definitely know guys used to, when the receiver turned for the ball, the DB turned for the ball. We don't see that anymore. Do you think that will come around again? Do you think guys just keep, kind of getting the arm in there to dislodge it the way they do? Do you think they'll ever kind of, when he turns, I turn, like it used to be?
Good question. So you have to know how they're being coached. You have to know how players are being coached today. When I played, we were taught to find the ball. You can't make a play on the ball if you don't find the football. Now, that also comes with a caveat. So if a guy has a 2-step lead on me downfield and I'm looking back for the ball, ain't no sense in looking back for the ball. You're beat. He's got separation on you. What you have to get back in phase. Okay, you have to get tight in coverage and be in phase before you can now look and find the ball. So there's a time to look for the ball and a time where you shouldn't even be looking for the ball. You should go catch up to your man, get in phase, get in position to make a play on the ball. When you see that receiver, say if the guy has me beat, he's got a step on me, and I see him put those arms up, okay? What's coached today is to play through the pocket, to play up through the pocket. When that receiver had put those arms up and you're behind, you ain't no sense in looking back, because as you start to look back, that ball, the timing of the ball is dropping in just as you look back. Mm. So it's okay. You're looking. I don't want to be sitting here on Sunday saying, well, at least he looked back for the ball, but he still got beat.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So when that ball, you got to understand how to get in phase. And there are times where this is how they're taught, is that you got to play and fight through the pocket. So as that ball comes down, you got to fight up through the pocket. And hopefully that as that ball comes into the pocket, your arm is coming up. Mm. And it's a sense of timing that out. At the end of the day, you can't allow receivers to get separation on you. Because if you're in tight coverage, as you see that receiver start to get his eyes back, now you can look back too, because that means you have time, right? As soon as he looks back, the ball's not going to drop. But once he looks back, give it another beat, that ball's coming in. So if you're not in phase, when he looks back and you're still chasing, ain't no sense of you look back. You know, the ball's not thrown to you. It's thrown up there to him, right? And so understanding the timing of the passing game is so very important for defensive backs to be a good cover defender. You have to understand that there's a timing and a rhythm to the passing game, that the ball is coming in at a certain place in certain angles. You have to know those things because you're a professional. Your job is to know that on the route of the receiver where that ball's coming in. You got to know that when that receiver starts to slow down and he put those hands up, that ball is dropping in there. And if he's got 2-3 steps on you, you can't go looking back. It's too late. You got to close on him and then fight through the pocket. But you also can't go closing in on him and have a collision with him before the ball arrives. And that comes with a sense of understanding the timing of the passing game. Remember, the passing offense of football, that the passing game is built on timing. It's built on rhythm. That's why the quarterback has a 3-step drop on all short slant routes. They have a 5-step drop on intermediate routes, 7-step drop on deep balls, because that's a timing. It's sort of a choreography to it all, if you will. It's a defensive back's job and coverage to understand that they're the ones who are on the clock. Our job on defense is to disrupt that timing. That's why we have to get a jam at the line of scrimmage. You have to reroute receivers when they're trying to run through your secondary. Linebackers who are in coverage have to reroute. Strong safeties, corners, everybody's got to reroute. Just getting a hand on that receiver as he's running by you because you're covering an area, he's running through your zone, you have to reroute him because it helps to throw off the timing of their passing game. And if you understand these things, that's what helps you to make plays in pass coverage. That's what's really critical to being a good defensive pass cover guy at the NFL level.
I definitely appreciate the knowledge, and Kentucky fans and Bengals fans can get more of that at Bleav In Bengals, right?
That's right. Check us out, Bleav In Bengals. We're getting it done every single week. You can also tune in to the opening drive on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88, where I'm the co-host of the opening drive from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday.
Hey, Solomon, it was an honor to have you on. I'd love to have a little more time or have you on sometime in the future when you have a little more time. Thanks for making time on NFL Draft Eve to drop some knowledge today. Really enjoyed it, sir.
All right. You got it, Vinny. All the best to you. Take care.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Solomon Wilcots, remember, part of the Bleav Network. Check him out on Bleav In Bengals. Dropping knowledge. Follow him on Twitter at Solomon's Wisdom. So all the BBN fans that are Bengals fans, check that out. So definitely wanted to get Solomon in here for that draft perspective. Flipping over to the UK side of things, baseball, we saw the Louisville beatdown last night, 17-5 at Kentucky Proud Park. The Cats got even with the Cards. You know, they lost in Louisville a couple weeks ago. Kentucky put it on them last night, 17-5 in 7 innings. And on the basketball side, Travis Perry did enter into the transfer portal. One of those things, just kind of not seeing a way to get a lot of time on the floor with the addition of Denzel Aberdeen from Florida. You know, Caden Lewis left. Maybe you thought, man, he might stay. You get that last edition. He's not able to. So that'll put a bow on this quick edition of Bleav in Kentucky. But stay tuned for Aaron and myself again soon. This is Vinny Hardy. Go Cats, and we'll see y'all next week. Hey, baby doll. Hey, baby doll. Hey, baby doll. Hey. Yeah. Hey, I'm here. I can't hear you. I'm here. Hey. I'm here. No, I can meet you. Want me? I can come get you there. Let me come. I'm headed that way. Yeah, I got. Yeah. All right. I was just. Well, I went there. I don't know. I just knew once I found out what I could be there quick if you was headed that way or whatever. I made a beeline out of there when I got your text. So I could be ready to do whatever. No, I made it to where I could get out right at 2:30 on the dot instead of trying to, put a bow and get a good stopping point and do extra. Seeing we still slam, but I got out at right at 2:30 today. Okay. Love you. Love you. Bye.